They said 30% rain. Great. I hope you guys enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. I was pretty busy, so I wasn't able to get this video up, but let's talk about all this news that's coming. First off, we have Nintendo saying they're not going to censor third-party games. Now, of course, Sony has been censoring third-party games, especially Japanese games. And you know, it really goes back to this article, where they say that, oh, Nintendo's not our competition because they are for kids. But it's like, one of the reasons you guys even started censoring is to protect the children. So who's really the kiddie console here? And it's like, that's one of my biggest problems. You know, with EA, they say a lot of dumb stuff, but Sony, they say a lot of contradictory things concerning like Japanese games and like classic games. Because if you go back, for example, we have that Sony representative come out and say, who would want to play those old games through backwards compatibility? But then they released that PlayStation Classic. So which one is it? Do we not care, or do we care? Great on Nintendo for saying this. I'm actually really starting to like this Furukawa guy. Xbox Live is not a free speech platform. Vows to curb toxicity. I hate that word, by the way. I freaking hate that word so much. But anyways, Xbox Live, you know, Xbox 360, I used to, listen to my brother play with his friends all the time on that, online, with party chat and all that. He would always talk trash on there, and the other people, they would talk trash as well, as normal freaking people, And it's like, do you have some bad apples? Yeah, as with every single community that has ever existed, there's always going to be some bad people there. But with this, you can just mute them, block them. You don't need to artificially create safe spaces for people to go into just so they can talk. Anybody can talk to anybody. Anybody can mute anybody or block anybody. That's not going to cause any harm. And then this is another thing, just like with Sony censorship, you yourself, Xbox and Microsoft, shouldn't be monitoring kids on your system. It should be the parent's job. It's crazy that Nintendo, I know we say this all the time, but I just, it's crazy that we have Nintendo saying, well, we're going to leave it up to the rating system in terms of censoring games, and we're going to leave it up to the parents to use our parental controls. That's it. Parents, monitor your kids. I don't know if you knew that was your job or not. Apparently, they don't understand that that's what a parent does. They're supposed to monitor what their kid is doing and make sure they are safe from things like this. Shenmue 3. Now, Epic Games Store is giving you a refund for backers that got the Steam version originally, and now they're giving you the Epic Games Store version. So now they're giving you a refund. Now, this is a good thing. If I was them, I'd still get my refund. Just doing that, I wouldn't be comfortable. I would not be okay still getting the game from the Epic Games Store. It's not okay to just snatch up Kickstarter projects like this. It's one thing when it's like, a third-party publisher where it's like, yeah, we're coming on Steam, but then they get bought out as a timed exclusive. But like, this is a Kickstarter. You made a freaking promise. You had people sign up to get a certain version, and now you are taking that version and putting it on something completely different from what you originally set out to. So if I was a backer, I would still get the refund. It's not okay. Just because they give you an option for a refund doesn't mean it's automatically okay for them to just snatch up Kickstarters like this. Now, I haven't played this game yet, but damn, this is really surprising. In the UK, Bloodstained actually sold more than the Xbox One version and PS4 version combined on the Switch. That's crazy. What makes this crazy is that the Switch version is actually the worst version of the game, and that sold the best. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened though, because if you remember Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, I played it. It was alright. I didn't really like it too much, but that game sold like 8 times more than the PS4 and Xbox One version. It was crazy. So, damn, it turns out like Switch, I mean, it doesn't really turns out, this has been known, but Switch is like the place to be for all these third-party developers, because they sell a ton on there all the damn time. And it's like, I just can't believe that we're still not getting, you know, like a Madden game on the Switch. Like all these games that are just so easy to put on the Switch, throw on there, sell. Third-party devs need to start hopping on Switch, because they've seen story after story after story is the best-selling system. All these success stories, Bloodstained, Monster Hunter, or not Monster Hunter, Monster Boy. Get on it. Get on it, guys. Sony is considering new game studio acquisitions. This is nice. We've seen Xbox do this with, you know, Double Fine and Ninja Theory. Although with Xbox, it's kind of like they're just gonna be on PC anyway. So this is cool. We'll see what studios they end up buying. Sure, there's gonna be a lot of big stories surrounding around that. But as far as I'm concerned, until I get rid of that censorship, like I said, I'm not gonna buy a PS5. But if they can get, you know, games that look appealing, look good, I'm sure a lot of people would be sold on a PS5. I don't usually buy any system at launch. The only system I bought like at launch was the Switch, and that's solely because, I mean, Breath of the Wild, you had Breath of the Wild first year, you had Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade, Splatoon 2, you had a bunch of great stuff already announced for it and already coming out that year, so we'll see how they can launch. Sony is stating that the PS5 is going to be for hardcore gamers. Now, in this same article, they say that some executives of some independent developers are saying they're feeling snubbed by Sony. I mean, if we think back to my Sony censorship video, what did I say? And now it's like those same sort of smaller Japanese quirky games are being shoved aside. So this is crazy if it's really true. And you know, we've seen Nintendo, you know, they treat their indies insanely well. They have the whole indies thing going on. And as it says in this article, you know, third parties and indies are like really good at, you know, fleshing out your whole library, giving you other options to get while you're waiting for those big, you know, first party exclusive games. So Sony needs to step up their game here. Real quick, I wanted to talk about this Pokemon controversy that's been going on. So essentially, on one side you have the developers saying that, well, it takes too much time because we're putting brand new animations, we're really working really hard on doing those new things, updating the Pokemon. And then on the other side you have, well, the National Dex has always been in every single Pokemon game, so it's like, why don't you have it in this game? And it's like, for their side, I can see what they're saying, because if you look at these high quality animations, but then it's like, in order to up-res all those Pokemon, I would imagine takes a lot of time. So for this, I can't really take a side. Personally, I don't care if it is or isn't. I just want to play the game. But that's just me. I'm not really into Pokemon like that. So that's why it's really hard for me to cover this, because I'm not a Pokemon fan. I don't know it like other people do. So I just wanted to address the situation There is a YouTube channel called Spectre. He is going really in depth on the situation. He covers it a lot better than I could ever. There's a lot more to this situation than you might think, so check out his videos on the whole controversy if you want to hear more about it. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. So Astral Chain, this game, no DLC planned for it, thank God. Trilogy is planned if sales are good. Now there's been an update to this. Let me read you the update. Game director Takahisa Tara has posted a tweet noting that the translation on the game being planned as a trilogy is slightly inaccurate. Tara noted he is thinking of various ways to expand the game into a trilogy or more, but noted it is not currently planned as a trilogy. Now that was the little tricky part of it initially, because I'm like, is this game going to be short because you're planning as a trilogy? But he cleared it up. I'm glad there's no DLC, because I'm personally tired of DLC. Unless it's story DLC, like Breath of the Wild or Xenoblade 2, for example. I miss me with any DLC at this point. I just can't stand DLC. I didn't even buy the Spider-Man one. Heard it wasn't even that good. Just, if you're gonna make something, especially make something like close to the release, you have to put it in the game. Like, delay the game, do whatever it takes. I'm not gonna be buying no season pass. I'm not gonna be buying no DLC. I'm tired of it. Just make a complete game from the start. That's it. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having, DLC being planned, and then it comes out, and then there's an Ultimate Edition. It's like, this is like one of the reasons why I don't ever really buy fighting games anymore, because it's just, you buy the fighting game for $50, $60, and then you have to pay $35 for the season pass, then you have to pay another $25 for the season pass, and it's like, it's just out of hand. Just release the game with all the characters that you want. Pretty much go the Smash Ultimate route. Except for that, that's like a special case, because like you have pretty much every character ever in Smash along with new characters already, and it's just like 5 new characters that are completely third party. So of course that costs you a lot of money to put them in there. But I'm just way over DLC. I'm so glad this isn't getting DLC though. This is fantastic. So now I know this game is going to be complete on release. Now, last bit of news. The next big year for Sonic is 2021. Now, that's obvious because it's the 30th anniversary. Of course, Team Sonic Racing just came out. That was solid. It wasn't amazing or anything. I still like Riders a lot more, like the original Riders. But it was alright. And then, of course, you had Mania come out. That was great. And Forces kind of like, eh. Wow, I can't believe it's been almost 10 years since Sonic Generations came out. That game was freaking fantastic. If they do something like that, that'd be great. But honestly, for me with Sonic, at this point, I want the next game to not have boost mechanics. Like, if it has boost mechanics, I'm not gonna get hyped, because I think boost as a game mechanic in Sonic games has just completely run its course. So we'll see. So we'll see what happens with that. Lastly, I'm going to talk about games that I'm pretty interested in. There's Lethal League Blaze, which is a soccer game. It reminds me a lot of Jet Set Radio in terms of art style, and then even music. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like some of the same people. That's one thing that Switch is really missing out on, is like party games. And the only game that's coming out in the next couple of weeks is Peach Ball Senran Kagura. Quite possibly one of the greatest pinball games of all time. This game is going to be awesome. If there's any topics you guys want me to cover, or if you guys have any thoughts on any of the topics discussed in this video, let me know in the comments below. That's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.